let's get right into it. As you're seeing this page that you're looking at right now, this image of different people that are looking at a particular phone. And it just got me thinking as I was sitting here getting ready for this particular webinar, was that we're living in times today whereby as optometric practices, everything that we do needs to be culturally relevant, especially in South Africa. If you think of how diverse our country is, it's very, very important that how we position our practices, how we structure the day-to-day operations within our businesses needs to be relevant to the different cultural dynamics that are at play in our country. So we shouldn't be one-dimensional as an optometric practice. So if you are, for example, a Tswana-speaking practice, but you are or the people in the practice are Tswana speaking, but you are in a community that has got different languages, it's very, very important that as a team, you get out of your comfort zone and start connecting with people in the manner in which it will result in more results for your practice. And so this picture just wanted you to encourage you to just say, you know what, are we connecting with people that are different from us as a practice? And if you're not, it means you are missing out on an opportunity that might exist in you getting new people to get their eyes tested in your practice. Because the challenge right now is that a lot of optometric practices, they tend to depend on constantly seeing the same people that they keep seeing, and they're not going out of their way to make their practice offering more relevant to people that are different from them, to age groups that are different from them. And so just keep that in mind as we go through this presentation today, which is all about consumer requirements and expectations. And let's continue. Let me do this. All right, guys, I just played you a 12-second video. Why did I do that? Consumer requirements and expectations have changed. Today, you've got audience members that are more visual. You've got more audience members that require you to connect with them in a different form than you were 3 years ago, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. There's a lot of people, based on the fact that we have been in lockdown and working from home over the last couple of months, that they spend a lot of time in front of technological devices, cell phones, laptops, tablets, and so forth. So how they have found themselves being able to be engaged is through video. And I've just played you a 12-second video clip that tells you about me and what I do. And there are people that are probably looking at this right now and are like, they got to understand what is it that Obi does in 3 words or 12 seconds. And so the question that I have for you as we get things going is, what have you changed with regards how you connect with the consumer in the last 5 months or in 2020? Are you still doing that which you have always been doing and expecting different results? Have you been able to adapt how you connect with people, how you position yourself, and so forth? So this 12-second video is something that I wanted you to think about it as a team, to ask yourselves, our social media, our online activity, our website, when people walk into the door, we've got a TV screen in the practice, but what are we playing on the TV screen in the practice that is connecting the people that are coming into the practice with our brand, with our practice? So that's a very, very important question that you guys need to ask yourself, that can people connect with your offering in seconds? If not, you have a problem on your hands. So when people come and it's a walk-in into your practice and they're coming in and they say, hi, how much? They say they didn't make an appointment. And now that the lockdown regulations are being lifted as time goes by, someone is at the mall and they realize that, you know what, I've been meaning to get my eyes tested. And they're walking into your practice and they asking you a question pertaining to, hi, how much does it cost to have my eyes tested? And Can I get my eyes tested now? You literally have seconds to connect to that person, to convince that person that they came into the right place, to convince them that they need to have their eyes tested and why, and so forth. And so, are you in a position to win over a person in second, or to demonstrate what is it that you are offering, or to communicate what is it that you do in a matter of seconds? So this is what the purpose of this video is. If you got the message of this video in the 12 seconds that this video played, please do give me a shout in the chat box so that I can see that which I'm saying is making sense to you and that you understand. So even if you give me a thumbs up to say, yes, you actually got to understand what it is that I'm talking about here in this video clip. But yeah, today, it's going to be a very short presentation. I know I've got this tendency of going over time and everyone needs to rush off. So we're going to keep it short and simple today. But the topics that we'll cover is current consumer trends, consumer choice versus your attractive appeal, defining your own value proposition as a brand or as a practice, the strategies that you need to now implement, or how do you go about changing strategies. Next, consumer goals, which is very, very important, because if you don't know what the consumer goals are, it means you are not in a position then to exceed those expectations and those requirements that they have. And lastly, how do you operate on a higher level of excellence than ever before? So those are the topics that we're going to be covering today. And so, yeah, for those of you who have noticed the past week or so, we launched our book, A Marketing Guide for the Eye Care Industry by Dr. Daryl Glover and myself. So please, if you are interested in the book, do send us your book order at books@visionstryt.co.za. And it's a fantastic book that you need to get your hands on. It's going to help you with implementing various marketing related strategies that can take your business to the next level altogether. And so do get the book. And so, yeah, I see someone here in the chat box said, let's see here. Okay. This screen that you're looking at here, we wrote here, your business offering needs to be entrenched in consumer minds and behaviors. What do we mean by that? If you look at your cell phone, if you look at a laptop, if you look at shoes, if you look at certain products, people cannot go without. If you had to take social media away from a lot of people, they would be very, very frustrated. If you had to take WhatsApp away from people, they would be very, very frustrated. And so how do you get to a point whereby what you do as an optometric practice is entrenched in consumer minds and behaviors? When a person thinks of starting their day or going or leaving their house or doing a particular activity, glasses or spectacles need to be top of mind, top of priority for them, where they know that I cannot be without my phone, I cannot be without my house keys, I cannot be without my pair of spectacles. And so you need to constantly be communicating your product offering in a manner in which people can see that, wait a minute, my glasses are actually very, very important. I just don't need them when I'm driving. I just don't need them when I'm sitting behind a computer. I actually need them when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that, when I'm doing that. And so I cannot afford not to have more than one pair of glasses, because I'm always needing to see well in different components or areas of my life. And so my glasses play a critical role in the activities that I do on a day-to-day basis. That's how people need to be thinking of a pair of glasses or a pair of spectacles. And so the question that I have for you is that, are you actually going out of your way to ensure that when that person that came into your practice for the very first time leaves with that pair of glasses, do they leave with your pair of glasses knowing how that pair of spectacles is going to change their life? Because if that is not the case, that means that person came for the first time to get their eyes tested, but it's like, I only need my glasses for reading, and that's about it. What you need to get to a point where that person understands that, wait a minute, without my glasses, I will not be able to see as follows. Without my pair of glasses, I will not be able to do this or do it at the manner in which I'm supposed to be doing it. And so get to a point whereby you move away from just limiting your conversation with, oh, your glasses are ready, can you see? And that's it. You need to literally communicate your offering in a manner in which it's entrenched in consumer minds. And so here, we did a survey recently in preparation for this particular webinar. And we asked a question, we said, out of the different types of people that walk into your practice, direct referrals, people Googling you, social media, general walk-in, influencer marketing, how much influence does it have in terms of the people that are coming into your practice? And the majority of people, they said that direct referrals still have the biggest impact in terms of the amount of people that keep coming to the practice. They come because someone referred them to that particular practice. Then it's followed by people searching for you on Google. Then it comes to your social media offering, then general walking, and then influencer marketing. The question that I have for you then is, if this is the case, and let's say almost 90% of the people that keep coming to your practice were coming as a result of direct referrals, can I ask a question in the chat? Please do indicate if you actually do this. Do you contact the people that did the referral? So if Ndate Shabalala, for example, has referred his colleague, Babankos, to the practice because of he was happy from the service that he got or whatever reason, but he ended up referring Babankosi to the practice. Do you as a practice send Baba Chabala, Ndate Shabalala a message, whether it be a WhatsApp or email, or you pick up the phone to say, Baba Chabalala, thank you very much. Ndate Nkosi came to see us today and he told us that you are the one who sent the referral to him. We really appreciate that. And do you actually do that? So if you don't mind, just indicating on the chat box, if someone in the practice actually follows up with those people that keep referring people to your practice. Why is this important? Because if you are showing that you are appreciating or appreciative of those individuals that are sending those referrals, and one of the things that you need to be doing actually is asking them, why did you refer that person to us? You're getting two sets of information. Firstly, you getting them to say, hey, you notice that they're doing this and you're appreciating it. Can they continue doing it more? And most importantly, you understanding why is it that they are referring people to your practice. This is very important because if you know why people keep coming to your practice, you then know what you need to do to ensure that they stay. That's very, very important, that you have an understanding of who's coming into the practice and why they keep coming to the practice. And so same thing, general walk-in. When someone comes into your practice, it might be low here, but you've got an opportunity of actually growing it to becoming more. So a general walk-in, it means you're giving an opportunity to win this person over. Because if someone is walking into your practice for the very first time, it simply means that they're walking into your practice and other practices as well. And you then have an opportunity to win that person over so that that person becomes your client, becomes a customer in your practice instead of them going into another practice. So don't take how people come to your practice very lightly. You have a massive opportunity to actually win them over. So a lot of people have actually answered these questions that I've asking you guys, and they're saying no, they don't. That is very, very problematic because you're missing out on an opportunity. Because let's say, for example, people are direct referrals, and that's a big thing for you guys, but you're not thanking them. You won't even recognize when they stop coming to your practice because no one is telling them that, hey, you must go to this particular optometric practice because they provide a particular service. You will not even have an awareness when the number of people that you are seeing goes down because you never took it very seriously. So I hope you guys have an understanding of this slide. It's very, very important. Let's continue. All right, so consumer trends. The images that you're looking at there, I'll start describing and explaining each one of them in terms of the trends that are taking place from top left all the way to the bottom right. So what we say here, consumers no longer care. That's the first image. Consumers no longer care about the products you sell if those products don't have a direct meaning to what is highly important to them. So look at what that, as I'm going on, just look at what's written in that particular message. That a person is grateful for my specs. I can't leave home without my glasses. And so I made sure. That's how you must position your social media communication. And instead of it being a generic image that is here, ask that person that has been coming to your practice for years to say, hey, we would like to feature you in on our website, if you don't mind, or on our social media page. And you know, you've always loved coming here. And why do you love coming here? So whatever message that person will give you, instead of at the bottom of the page, just writing your testimonies from people, you can actually write it like this with an actual person's message. And if you can't use an actual person's message, then do it exactly like we have done it here. I can't leave home without whatever testimony that person has shared. It will be something that is of importance to them. And then you put it like this on your website. That's a quick tip that you guys can use. The next one, the next image, consumers want quality products at the time they want it and in the manner in which they want it. And most importantly, at the price they personally deem it to be affordable for them to pay for it. So just look at how you can position quality, value, those type of words on your social media or on your communication as a practice. You see, look at what's written here. When it comes to the things that are very important to my everyday life, I never compromising on ensuring I have the very best that I need. So when a person comes into your practice complaining that, you know what, I sit in front of a computer the whole day, what you need to be thinking is, how important is your work? You don't want this person to be spending so much time in front of a computer and only have a basic pair of glasses. You want to make sure that they understand that, sir, we've got different anti-reflective coatings, we've got different lenses, lens materials, and so forth. For you to actually enjoy working, you need to make sure that the pair of spectacles that we're going to prescribe for you has the very best, that it will ensure that your vision is the very best when you're sitting in front of a computer or when you're doing an activity that you need your vision or adequate vision. So that's how you need to be communicating to your different audiences. The third image, brands need to take people on a journey of self-discovery and to a place that they have never been before. I'll give you a perfect example. We have all discovered Zoom this year, even though Zoom has been in existence for the last couple of years. There's been multiple other platforms that have always been there. Video calling has been something that has been there. Now, because of this year, we have all discovered that, wait a minute, when I call a colleague, when I call someone, instead of me just calling them on WhatsApp only, why don't I video call them and actually see them, because you have enjoyed seeing person. So the image here is, I hated reading, then I got a pair of spectacles, and now I absolutely love reading. So you need to find out, as you dealing with different patients, what is it that they love doing? What is it that they like doing? And how is a pair of spectacles going to help them do that better? That's what you need to be finding out. Don't just get in the business as a consultant. Someone walks into your practice, they're wanting glasses, you're giving them glasses, and then they go about their business. No, you need to find out what are the things that they love doing or that they don't like doing because they can't see. How many people say to you, I don't like driving at night because I don't see properly? Well, that's an opportunity for you to give them the very best coatings on that pair of spectacles and elaborate how they're going to see better as a result of this pair of spectacles that you are prescribing for them. Next, your business needs to represent something of value to the consumer that they can identify with. That's the BBGR image there. That's what glasses do. You want to find out, outside of the working environment, what else does this person do that they do on a regular basis? And you need to then, once you understand that, look in terms of when you're communicating with this person, communicate with them that this is how glasses can actually help you. A person, for example, there are people, I've seen this, they use the how train, for example, to go to work. Or they use public transportation to get to work, right? But when they're in a taxi, they don't wear their glasses. They only take off their glasses when they get to the workplace. You need to find out from them that, look, your glasses are, your lenses are -2. You're going to need your glasses all the time. So when you're in it, what mode of transport do you use? They will tell you. You need to tell them when you're sitting in a taxi and you're on your cell phone, you want to make sure that you've got quality vision. When you're doing this activity, when you're doing that activity. So that's how you communicate glasses, spectacle lenses, and so forth. It has to be part and parcel of the day-to-day activities that a person does, and you entrench that in that particular conversation. We wrote here where the image with where you see me. Every consumer needs to be treated as a very important person. I put this image here because our business as a brand, for example, our brand grew exponentially in the last 2 months, simply because without even us realizing, we started a campaign that was about celebrating people. But the campaign ended up becoming bigger than what we ended up anticipating. Why is that? The campaign celebrated people in the industry. The question that I have for you is, what do you do as a brand or a practice to make your patients, your customers, your clients feel like they are important to your practice? How do you celebrate them? That's a question that I want to ask you, because if you look at the trends, remember this section here is consumer trends or current consumer trends. The trend that you look at globally is celebrations of a particular community or target audience. The question for your practice is, who are you celebrating as your practice? Or how do you go about celebrating your loyal customers, those people that have been with you for years? How do you acknowledge them and appreciate them and show your appreciation? Very important question. The next one here, consumers demand bespoke products and services. That's the transitions image. I get shocked at the amount of times that people only think that transitions comes in a one-dimensional change. It just goes dark in the sun, light indoors. It's multifaceted, guys. There's different dimensions to it. There's transitions that technology that has enabled that when you are in your car driving, it can change. When it's windy, cloudy, and all of that, it can change. So you need to, when you're communicating, listen very well to that person that is standing in front of you, that is telling you that, you know what, I struggle doing this when it comes to light and being outdoors and so forth. When you then tell them about the transitions that the practice has, go into detail by communicating the different colors, communicating the different types, so that that person, when they make the decision of, okay, I'm going to go for this one, they have an understanding that the particular transitions code that they're going for is going to help them in the day-to-day activities that they have in a particular manner. That's why I put that one for. So it's very, very important that you understand that. Next, that's the first image there at the top. The consumer should always be the hero of your story, not your brand. So I put the image here. Thank you for choosing us. We value and appreciate your time. We are excited about giving the very best vision you have ever had. Why did I put it that way? Guys, personalize the experience that people get from your practice. Stand out. How do you do that? Every single time someone leaves your practice, this could be a template that you have on your social media, on your computer, and you can have WhatsApp on your phone and on your computer in the practice. After every single person that you have helped, at the end of the day, someone can do, with the 8 people that you saw on that particular day, you can send a personalized message, even if it's the same message like this one here, with people that are going to get their glasses for the very first time, or people that are coming back, something. Send them a message like this via WhatsApp, just to acknowledge that you are appreciating them having come to your practice today, and you're excited about giving them the very best vision they've ever had. I know right now, I don't know how many people are connected with us here that are listening into this. I'm going to be very surprised that there's going to be 1 or 2 practices that are going to actually take me up on this solution that I've just suggested, and they're going to go and implement it. Please do. And once you do and you see the result and the impact that it's having in your practice, please do send us a message, because I'm telling you right now, we tried this with 3 other practices, and the feedback that we got from them was that, Obi, since we have started this 2 months ago, this has literally changed the way our customers are engaging with our brand over the last 2 months. We've actually seen a lot more testimonies coming in because of the service that we are giving people. So I challenge you. That's how you need to approach it. The next image. The challenge with most healthcare practices or eye care practices is that they don't know how to talk about their product to the consumer. Your patients don't know what a Crizal Preventia is. I reassure you, even some staff members that are joining us here this morning don't have an understanding of what a Crizal Preventia is. So if staff members don't have an idea, trust me, patients don't have an idea what Crizal Preventia is. But you know what? They've got an opportunity of knowing fully well what a Crizal Preventia does, how it's going to change how they see, and all of that. So that's what you need to be communicating. You need to be communicating the usage and functionality of the product in terms of the visual experience that the person is going to have. Next, pretty websites don't sell things. So you need to have a direct call to action. You're only seeing a screenshot of a website there, but you can already see right at the top what this image is all about, what the price there is. So what I'm trying to say is that on your social media, on your offering, on your brand collateral, on your stationery, everything, when a person gets into your online presence or gets to engage your online presence, you need to connect with them so quickly, because people don't read websites. No one goes and reads a website. People scan over a website. They literally browse through websites. So as they're browsing, the different sections that they're browsing, it needs to connect with them as quickly as possible. That's what needs to happen. And there has to be a direct call to action. Book now, get in touch with us now, buy now. Those are the things that are important when you are having your website. But don't do that on your social media. Don't just be promoting promotions and specials on your social media. No one will connect with that. People want to see that previous image that I showed you on the previous slide, that I showed you of how you need to position your social media. That's how you go about it. And next here, the bottom image here, with the lady holding her hand to the ear, words don't sell things. And if the wording or message is not clear, consumers don't bother listening or reading. So think about it. Are you communicating in a manner in which people understand? Or are you communicating just for the sake of communicating? So do you communicate what the product does, clinical features and benefits, how they're going to experience the product drawbacks, how this product that you are recommending as an upgrade is different from the current product that they are having? So when a person comes in, they've been wearing glasses for the last 6 years, the very first thing you need to do, how has your vision changed? My vision, I feel like my vision has been getting worse over time. Well, currently, the reason why you would have gotten this pair of glasses would have been as follows. And your working environment requires you to have a particular pair of glasses that will do the following, that will have the following coat. So your current pair of glasses doesn't have the necessary coating, and that's why you're seeing the way you see. What we're recommending for you today is a pair of spectacles with this particular coating, and this is how you're going to experience your working environment on a day-to-day basis. That was very clear, simple, straightforward. So that's how you need to be communicating. Don't just be all over the place by focusing on medical aids, pricing, and all of that thing, without you having established or made certain that this person, you're communicating with them at the level at which they understand the importance of the pair of spectacles that you're recommending for them. The bottom middle image, more than getting our products into the market, what's important is to be able to communicate why our consumers need our products in their lives. This is very critical. A person needs to know and understand, this is what I came in seeing, but now that I'm going to get my new pair of glasses, this is what I'll be able to see. That's your responsibility as a practice. You need to take them to a place that they have never been before. That's very, very important. And the last image here, even if you have the best product in the marketplace, you will always lose to an inferior product if your competitor's offer is communicated more clearly. So you could have these amazing equipment, all of those amazing things, but if the team is not communicating well enough, the procedures, the protocols, the details of the product in an easy to understand, effective manner to the consumer, the practice that is charging 99 rands for or an eye examination, or charging 150 for an eye examination, but they don't do 3/4 of what you're doing, charging 650, they will end up seeing and selling more things to the practice if they can communicate better. So I urge you as a practice, communicate effectively. That's how you will win people over. So I hope this was clear in terms of the trends that are taking place in eye care at the moment. If you guys have other trends that you have noticed, please do make mention of it in the chat box. I would love to hear from you guys. All right, let's move on quickly. Consumer choice versus your attractive appeal. This is very, very interesting. I'll go quickly on this. The required approach your business urgently needs. 1, position your offering as something the consumer really wants and can't go without. 2, the consumer, always remember this, the consumer has multiple other offers on the table they have to choose from. You have to increase the desirability of your offering when you are engaging them. What do we mean by that? It's very simple. If your customers' wants and needs change, but your offering as a practice stays the same, the desire for your offering will go down. But if customers' wants and needs and that competitive advantage that you have stays the same, but you're constantly working on improving how you position in your brand or your offering, the desire for your practice or your offering will continuously go up. So a very simple question. We have been dramatically changed as a industry, or impacted as an industry over the last few months. Question that I have for you that's very simple. In the last 5 months, what new thing have you done in your practice that is targeting new audiences or consumers to your business? What new thing have you done that is ensuring that you are retaining the people that have been coming to your practice? As a staff member in the practice, what have you done in terms of how you communicate, upskilling yourself? You have been joining us for these webinars for the last 5 months and for the previous 4 ones. As a staff member, have you individually gone back, listened to the webinars over and over again, gone to your optometrist to say, you know what, Obi said this in the webinar, and I was listening to it again, but I'm struggling with understanding the concept, implementing it, and I'm struggling, and going back and discussing it with your optometrist to find a solution for it. Who has done that? Or has it just been you do a training, do the assessment, get a certificate, and you move right along? If that's all that you're doing, then please let this one today be the last one that you are doing, because then these webinars are a complete waste of time for you. Because these webinars needs to be something that you as a practice go back, engage them to say, guys, we agree with what Obi said there, or we don't agree with what Obi said there. Oh, this is how we can implement this for our practice and so forth, and implement that for your practice. When you struggle, you get in touch with BBGR or Visionstryt so that we can help you with this thing. But if it's just about getting certificates, then trust me, this would have been a fruitless exercise that you have done. So please change your business approach in that regard, because when you change and implement these things that we are recommending for you, you will start seeing the impact of that change in the next couple of months, where all of a sudden, from 5 people that you were seeing per day, you're now seeing 10 people per day. From 10 people that you are seeing, you're now seeing 20 people a day. From making a turnover of 100,000 rands a month, you're now making a turnover of 200,000 rands a month. That's the whole purpose of these webinars and the information, is to get you to another level that you have never been there before. Next, avoid making noise when communicating with the consumer. When we go on and on about our promotions, special deals, and discounts in the practice, we actually don't speak to consumer needs and wants. It sounds to them like you just want them to have a pair of glasses. You're not literally communicating with them to show them that this is how the pair of glasses is going to change your life. That's what you need to be doing. And so avoid making noise when you're communicating. It's not about the promotions. It's not about the specials. It's not about the deals. You need to communicate those as a last take-home message, not as a starting point. Next, consumers want a worthwhile experience now more than ever. When a person walks through those doors, don't just be about remember, people are frustrated with COVID-19, right? So if all that you are doing is making sure that they have sanitized their hands, you check their temperature, and they're following the protocols that you have put in place, which are very, very important. Over and above those COVID-19 protocols that you have put in place, over and above what you have always been doing as a practice before COVID-19, the question that I have for you that you need to ask yourself is, this experience that this person is going to have for the next hour that they're in their practice, how are we ensuring that it's going to be a worthwhile experience for them more than anything? Very, very important for you to understand. Next, defining your value proposition. All right, for time purposes, I will put these up all at the same time. So to define your value proposition, you're looking at 4 things there. The patient information form, lifestyle ledger, working environment, visual challenges, and case history. Our recommendations is that on the patient information form, information that you actually need to be, remember, a lot of practices now, people are filling in their patient information forms online or before they come to your practice. Even if they're not doing that and they're doing it when they get to the practice, right? The information that you, over and above the normal information that you get, you need to also establish the following type of information. Where did they get their current pair of spectacles from? Were they happy with the overall experience and service that they got, even if it was from you? The prescribed management solutions address the visual concerns that they had. So that which they needed the glasses for, did it solve that problem? How many pairs of spectacles do you currently have that you are using? It's very, very important for a staff member to know that, so that a person knows that, wait a minute, this person has 2 pairs of spectacles. Okay, what do you use them for? Oh, I use this one for this, I use this one for that. Oh, the other one, I got it as a buy one, get one free special. Oh, okay, so this person is only using the 1 pair as the main pair, and the other pair is a by the way thing. You see, you're already getting information from that. So this information helps you understand that, wait a minute, okay, this is where this person is at, but this is where this person needs to be. And this is where we are able to improve what we are offering this person as. The other question here, how did you hear about us? Very, very important. It goes back to that first slide that I showed you in terms of, and we even touched base on this on the previous webinar as well, in terms of you need to know how people hear about you so that you understand that, wait a minute, our social media is actually strong. Oh, wait a minute, people are referring a lot of people to our practice. Then you know how you structure your offering. And feedback, what can you do to improve, or what can we do to improve our service offering to you? That's a question that you must ask each and every single person that fills in a form in your practice, especially if they've been there before. Next, lifestyle and leisure. To the optometrists who are joining us, or to a staff member who's joining us, that first block here that I've just talked about, please do indicate on the chat box if it's something that you think it will work. because there's a lot of information on the patient information form that has got nothing to do with putting you as a practice in a position that you can know that, wait a minute, we have an opportunity here to exceed a particular expectation that this person has, or we have an opportunity here to offer something that this person never had as an offer before. Very, very important. So if it's something that you guys will try, please do give an indication of it in the chat box. Next, leisure and lifestyle. Visual, what we mean by that. If someone comes to your practice because they only have a visual concern, they can't see when they're driving at night, that's it. It means they end up having a basic approach to eyewear instead of let me just rephrase it. They end up having a basic approach to eyewear instead, which results in you not going for the very best solution. How many patients come in like that? You know, they just say that, you know what, I think I'm not, my vision is not the way it used to be before. So that person only came for a visual concern. Your responsibility is to now show them that, wait a minute, don't go for the basic thing, because this thing is affecting your lifestyle or your leisure activities as follows. But with the product that we are recommending for you, this is how it will change going forward. Next, problem solver. You have to then understand what problem is this person experiencing as a result of not seeing properly in the lifestyle or leisure activities. Then you must make sure that you don't compromise on the quality of eyewear. So if someone is literally struggling with something and it's a challenge for them, you make sure that when you're communicating the potential solutions from a management point of view, you are not communicating the basic anti-reflective coating. You're not communicating the basic tint, the basic frames. You're communicating the very best products. Quality has to be top-notch. No compromise on this. And when a person has an issue of the price, then you are putting yourself in a situation whereby you are saying, okay, understand, this is how you are experiencing your vision as a result of this problem. What we are recommending for you is that this is how you should be seeing as a result of what we are recommending. When you don't go for this, this is what you will end up seeing. When you go for it, this is what you'll be seeing. That's what we mean by that. Understanding of visual function. That's what you want your consumers to understand. That, wait a minute, if they have a detailed, thorough understanding of what their vision is supposed to be and the different components of their life, this is how their vision needs to be. That you cannot have one pair of glass with all the coatings and tints and another pair of glass with the basic option, with not even a single coating on it. It means there's certain areas of their lifestyle and leisure where a person is sitting at home watching TV and they don't have their glasses on because it was not effectively communicated with them the impact that the glasses will have. So if there's an understanding of the visual function, it means the solution that you're recommending will be a necessary part of the everyday requirements that they have. And then high performance, if someone has a high demand for seeing well, this person will end up leaving the practice with multiple pairs of management solutions, spectacles, multiple pairs of spectacles, contact lenses, multiple pairs of prescription sunglasses. Here's a shocker. You don't sell prescription sunglasses as, oh, you can just have prescription sunglasses as well. No, don't do that. Why is it that a person is not having 2 to 3 pairs of sunglasses that they are buying from you on a regular basis? Trends change. Different types of sunglasses will go with different types of looks. Women, for example, change their hair or hairstyles on a regular basis. So it's not like guys, I mean, I've got like 3 pairs of sunglasses, but I end up wearing the same pair of sunglasses all the time. Whereas with women, they will have multiple designs and styles of sunglasses. You need to make sure that for sunglasses that they cannot put prescription in them, they've got contact lenses in them. For sunglasses that you can put a prescription in them, they are leaving your practice with multiple pairs of sunglasses. They might only afford to buy 1 pair today, but in 3 months' time, they might be in a position to buy again. ask them, can we follow up with you whenever we've got promotions on our sunglasses and deals on our sunglasses? And they will indicate, yes, you need to communicate with those people on a regular basis, not waiting to send them a message 2 years later to say you are due for your appointment. For sunglasses, no ways. You need to be selling sunglasses every 6 months. You need to be selling multiple pairs of spectacles on a regular basis. Don't be focused on just limiting your communication to when the person is due for an eye examination. Ask people, like on our website, on Visionstryt, can we ask a question when a person fills in the form? Can we communicate with you when we've got new information or products or anything that will help you see better? You know, ask that question. You'll be shocked at how many people will end up coming to your practice on a regular basis just to come and buy eyewear, not necessarily to have their eyes examined, but to just come and buy products. Very important. And yeah, personal brand, if that is very important, customize the experience that a person has. And very, very important as a practice to determine what is important to the consumer and then solve that. And this is pertaining to the lifestyle and leisure activities. I hope that was clear. So a quick one, working environment, you will do the same. Hours at work must correlate with the product you recommend or that is selected. Communicate usage and functionality of management solution to the visual requirements of the working environment. Give practical examples that make sense. For example, I will always ask patients the following question. Would you walk for an hour in your heels, ma'am? No. So why do you think it's okay for you to spend 8 hours in front of your screen and have the most basic pair of spectacles to help you see better? That's a practical example. I relate something that they cannot do with other products to say, but why are you doing it with your glasses? That's how you introduce it. And so how do you currently take care of other things that are important to you? I will ask that question. And then I will follow up with how important is your vision in comparison to those other things that are just as important. And I wrote here, negotiation versus persuasion. What do we mean by this? I love this one. It's very shocking. In eye care, we tend to have this problem of negotiating down instead of persuading upwards. And this has to change. You don't negotiate for a person to just get a pair of glasses. You need to start from persuading them why they need the very best pair of spectacles. That's it. Once you have persuaded them on that, then you go downwards. If you can see that, okay, this person is definitely not going to go for this. So the best way to do that, from the time you start communicating with that person when they're filling in their patient information forms or when the optometrist is doing the eye examination, already introduce the very best products and solutions to the potential problems that they have, so that it's already entrenched in their minds that, wait a minute, I might need this particular product going forward. So that at the end of the examination procedure, when they're selecting their glasses, they're going to be selecting glasses and getting the lenses that they need in relation to the working environment problems that they are facing, that they will no longer be facing because they're getting the right product. So persuade upwards all the time. And then visual challenges or case history, introduce high quality solutions from the onset and not at the end. And what we have said here is establish trust very, very quickly. As a consultant in the eye care practice, when a person comes in, what I recommend you to do, very, very important, introduce yourself clearly. Introduce yourself and ask, ma'am, welcome to your practice. My name is so-and-so. I'm looking forward to assisting you today. Before we go in, what language do you speak? Always ask that question. Even if that person speaks a different language from that, I always ask that question. What language do you speak? If someone speaks a different language from me and I don't know it and I don't understand it, I will tell them, ma'am, unfortunately, I don't understand, nor can I speak it, but I'm willing to learn. If I understand it, but my speaking of it is not as clear, I will tell them, I clearly understand it, you can speak it, but unfortunately, I will try my best, but you'll teach me if I struggle, or you'll help me if I struggle. I'm already establishing that way that I'm going to meet you at your level. Then I make that person feel comfortable as quickly as I possibly can. What does that do? It helps you establish trust, so that when you come in minutes later, when you start telling them that, oh, this is what we're going to do, this is what you need, all of that, you will be doing that on the premises of the fact that you have established a trust relationship between yourself and them. Very important. And then we wrote here, always demonstrate the impact of the management solution to the problem that they have. So you have to be able to demonstrate it. What I used to do, if a person comes into the practice, I'll put a contact lens in their eye when they're choosing glasses. And that's how I will introduce contact lenses. But we can have that discussion a bit later. And then lastly, always ensure that you are providing value and you understand what is valuable or what is of value to that person that you are helping. And make sure that you are winning when it comes to the value factor all the time. All right, let's continue. Changing strategies. Where do you need to be right now, and how do you get there? I'll move quickly on this. Personalize the consumer experience. Very, very important. Make every single person feel like the most important person to walk into the practice. Next, connect with consumers. Like I said, your objective is to establish a strong trust relationship with the consumer above everything else. And you do this by not only delivering on what you promise, but exceeding their expectations. Trust leads to loyalty, and you need loyalty to have repeat business from a person. Next, everyone in the practice needs to know their products, their pricing, and most importantly, how the consumer is going to experience the product when using it. Next, make sure you ask for feedback from every single person you help. We already talked about this earlier on in the presentation. Send a thank you for visiting us to every single person. I can't reiterate more on this like I have. It's very, very important. This is something that was never been done by optometric practices. Start doing it. Make moves for the future we're heading into. What do we mean by that? Get online urgently. If you don't have a website, get a website. If you're not using social media, start using social media. If you're not, just get online. It's simple as that. And if you've already been having a website, upgrade it. Get an e-commerce website. And then if you don't have the buy-in of the team, then whatever you do as the practice is a complete waste of time. So for the optometrists who are listening into this right now, make sure that you are getting the buy-in of the team with everything that you do or establish in the practice. And lastly, stop making excuses, because the minute you make an excuse, you are limiting the growth potential of your optometric practice. Simple as that. And so the growth assessment questions that I would ask you guys to please quickly complete here in the ask yourself or answer in the chat box here quickly is, for every 10 people you assist, how many of them go with what you recommend? Can we please get the answers in the chat box? For every 10 people that you assist, how many of them go with what you recommend? So if you're assisting someone and you're recommending something, they always go with it. Is it 7 people, 5 people, 2 people? Please do indicate. Next question. For every 10 people you assist, how many of them do you discuss product upgrades with them? So a person was wearing this AR coating. Now you are recommending a different AR coating. How many of them go with what you're recommending, and do you discuss that product upgrade? And lastly, for every 10 people you assist, how many of them do you remember their names and details? Just some basic questions that we call them growth assessment questions, because it helps you as a business, as an individual, to understand where you are at as a practice, as an individual in the practice. And so consumer goals, I wrote them down here quickly. Consumer goals, I'm going to quickly do them from this image with the eye all the way to the bottom there with the surgeon. So here's the consumer goals. What goals do consumers have when they visit your practice? One, they want to get rid of dry, irritated eyes they have. That could be a goal. Number 2, second image, have comfortable vision when they're sitting in front of a computer. Third one, have a clear vision when driving at night. Next, wear contact lenses. Next, have different pairs of spectacles instead of just one pair. Next, see well during sports or leisure activities. Bottom left image there. Next, want eyewear that is trendy, stylish, and fashionable. Another goal, affordable quality products that represents or describes their lifestyle needs. Or the last one there at the bottom, not wear spectacles anymore, but still want to see very well. So these are potential goals that people come with when they come to the practice. And at the end of this presentation, BBGR can assist us with what products goes with these goals. And so very, very important to know that everything you do from this point onwards is based on what the consumer wants to achieve. Getting the consumer to achieve their goal is more important than anything else. Make sure that you don't get distracted with doing things that have got nothing to do with consumer goals. Ensure that the entire team is well trained on various communication scripts regarding consumer goals that are important to them to know and fully understand. All right, so what should happen once you have identified the consumer goal? Well, express an understanding of the pain and frustration of the consumer in them not being able to achieve their goal, right? Next, an expression of empathy in the dilemma the consumer faces leads them to trust you. Remember, consumers always want to be seen, heard, and understood. It's not about you, it's about them. Next, and by the way, it's not about your brand, it's about them. So if your brand online presence, it's all about you going on and on and on and on about your business, you're losing the consumer. Number 4, once you've identified the consumer's internal problems, let them know you understand what they're going through and will like to help them resolve it. 5, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Show genuine care when you're communicating. What do you have in common with the consumer? So with every single person, always ask yourself that question. What do you have in common with this particular individual? And operate at that level with them. And then once you connect with them at that level, get them to the level that you want them to be at. And lastly, once the consumer is persuaded that your brand and them are just alike, any unknown nuances will be filled by them and will be filled by trust by them. So they will begin to trust you when they are convinced that, you know what, this is the practice that is going to help me get what I need. All right, so you have to understand, you have to stand out across the different communication platforms that your business operates on. And you do so by having the following in place. 1, compassion. 2, clarity. 3, creativity. And 4, competence. Those are the 4 things that I challenge you for the remainder of this year. Stand out on compassion, clarity, creativity, and competence. And how do you achieve these goals? Well, always remember, consumers will trust you more when we position our company, or when you position your practice as a guide that helps them overcome the challenge by providing them with the necessary tools and resources that they need, because they're the hero at the end of the day. Next, show them how they win. So the question that you have to ask is, what does the consumer want in relation to our brand? Are we invested in them enjoying our products and services for a long period of time? Our systems, processes, products, and the overall experience of our brand adding value to them? Is our offering in line with what they deem to be important to them? So you have to show them how they win with your brand and how does your offering help them achieve their goal. Next, show genuine care. Very, very important that you do this. And then next, deliver on promises that you make. Next, keep it simple. Don't complicate your message. Keep it simple. Make sure that people understand. When people understand, they make decisions better. Next, and lastly, what about your brand helps people survive? Is it pricing and affordability, usage and functionality, accessibility and convenience, problem solving, the longevity of your products? How is it that you are helping people survive? Next, how is your brand helping people thrive? Visual needs, lifestyle requirements, trends in fashion, environmental importance, local brand support, personal identity. What is it about your brand that helps people survive and thrive? That's what you need to understand. And then lastly, how do you operate on a higher level of excellence? People cannot buy a product that they don't know exists. So always ask yourself, how are we communicating our product offering? Are we communicating the product, or are you communicating how the product works? Next, communication strategies must have clear objectives, be measurable, and have a clear target audience. So you cannot have a one-size-fits-all approach when you're communicating across different marketing platforms or media platforms. Make sure that you've got a clear target audience in mind. Next, you need to have a distinctive appearance that will help you get your products noticed and will make it easier to be recognized for it. Next, what do you want the consumer to always remember about you? That's a question that you want to establish. Next, know the expectations of every consumer. Yes, every single one of them. You can only know them when you do that questionnaire that we discussed on previous webinars. Go back to those previous webinars and you will see the list of consumer expectations that they have. Next, always simplify your messaging. Very, very important. And next, communications with an emotional appeal are more engaging since they encourage the consumer to take action. So does your offering, does your communication have an emotional appeal to them? That's an important question for you to always ask yourself. And then you need to cement your brand in consumers' minds through everything that you do. And so some practice advocates that your business desperately needs, and we're closing off here. Always remember, a satisfied consumer who feels that every expectation that they had was exceeded leads to them being advocates to your business or for your business. Every opportunity they get to talk about your business and service that they have experienced, they will be sharing that with the entire network. And so always ask yourself, how do you want people to know about your brand? How can you go about, in our new book, we have a full chapter on influencer marketing and referrals and loyalty programs that you can be able to understand in more detail in that regard. And be extremely intentional with the qualities that define your business and then grow them on a regular basis. And so to conclude, we'll talk about the red carpet experience. And what is the red carpet experience all about? Service delivery excellence needs to always be there with every single person, every single day. Have a consumer-centric approach, value-driven solutions, very strong leadership, be adaptable in your offering, working environment that brings out the best in the team or out of the team, have a going the extra mile type of attitude that everyone in the practice needs to have, convenience and the ease of access to solutions being offered, make it easy for people to do business with you. Innovation has to be key and critical and prioritized in the practice, and have clear vision on why the team needs to do what it does. And basically, that's it, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation for today.